What's up everyone, Cloudy Hazy back for another video. Today we're breaking down the fastest and smartest way to level from 80 to 90 in the Midnight expansion. This isn't just do the campaign and vibe. These are real tips, skips, and optimizations to save you time, unlock power faster, and make your alts way easier later on. Whether you're racing to endgame, prepping for Mythic Plus, or setting up multiple characters, this video will get you there clean. Let's get into it. Before we get into the best route for leveling, it's important to talk about preparation, because what you do before you start questing can save you a surprising amount of time. A clean start means less stopping, less frustration, and faster progress overall. First thing you want to do is make sure your bags are empty and ready to go. Get rid of old quest items and gear you know you won't be using. Almost everything from before midnight will be replaced quickly, so there's no reason to hold on to clutter. If you think you might want something for later, for transmog or nostalgia, put it into your bank. While leveling, the goal is momentum, and stopping to decide what to keep or delete breaks that flow more than people realize. Quest log cleanup is just as important. Going into a new expansion with a full or messy quest log is one of the easiest ways to slow yourself down. Clear out old quests so when midnight launches, you can jump straight into new content without having to stop or manage your quest log. Consumables are another easy win. Stock up on flasks, health potions, and any other helpful consumables ahead of time lets you stay in combat longer and recover faster. Movement speed items or gear can also make a noticeable difference over the course of 10 levels, especially when you're moving between objectives constantly. Small boosts add up when you're leveling efficiently. One easy way to increase your speed is by using War Within speed enchants on your boots, bracers, and cloak. When you combine those enchants with the elusive Blasphemite meta gem and 5 unique gems in your gear such as rings and neck, you're looking at roughly a 20% movement speed increase overall. And getting this ready before launch is one of the easiest ways to stay ahead while leveling. Making sure that you get all this done before you even start leveling sets the tone for the entire 80 to 90 journey. Once you're prepared, everything becomes much smoother. Part 2. How midnight leveling works. Midnight leveling is clearly designed with a campaign at its core, and that's the first thing to understand going in. Your first character from 80 to 90 isn't just leveling for experience, it's unlocking systems, progression, and account-wide benefits that matter later. Once you finish the campaign, you unlock adventure mode, which is where the real freedom comes in. This is the big one because you only need to complete the campaign once, and you're set for the entire season. From that point on, your alts can skip the full campaign and level in any zone they want in any order. It also gives immediate access to world quests, side campaigns, and zone quests without any story locks. That said, choosing your zone order isn't as critical as it sounds. On your first character, you only need to complete Eversong Forest, and after that, the campaign opens up, allowing you to decide which zone you would like to go to next. Adventure mode just removes the restrictions and makes things much smoother, especially for alts. Leveling the second time around also ends up looking a little different. With adventure mode and world quests already unlocked, alts have more flexibility in how they level, whether that's mixing in world quests, jumping between zones, or just focusing on content you prefer instead of following a strict campaign path. On top of that, Midnight rewards you for leveling multiple characters. Each character you get to level 90 grants a 5% experience bonus through the one Warband Mementos buff, stacking up to 25% with 5 characters. That means every alt you level makes the next one faster, which is another reason getting your first character to 90 efficiently matters so much. Now it's time to go over the fastest and most efficient route for leveling. When you first log into the game once the expansion goes live, your main focus should be the campaign. Campaign quests offer the best experience and pacing early on. As you're leveling, keep questing through the campaign until you reach Silvermoon City. Your main priority should always be the campaign. Midnight has a huge number of side quests, and if you accept too many at once, your quest log will fill up fast. It's completely fine to grab and complete side quests when they're directly on top of a campaign objective, or simple kill quests you can finish without extra travel. The goal is to gain extra experience without breaking your momentum. The campaign will naturally have you complete certain dungeons and delves as part of the storyline. Since they're built directly into your progression, you'll be doing them anyways, and they provide solid experience along the way. There are also additional delve quests available while leveling that rewarded a large chunk of XP. If you do decide to run those, Doing them on level 1 would be the smart move, allowing you to clear them quickly. As long as you're getting in and out fast, they're worth the time. Another thing you should be doing in between questing is queuing for random dungeons. I recommend doing at least one per day to collect the bonus experience from completing it, and you may even walk out with an item upgrade. Knock out the daily bonus when it makes sense, and then get back to questing. Continue the campaign into Eversong Forest and complete it fully. This is an important breakpoint because once it's finished, the campaign opens up and allows you to choose where to go next. Based on quest density, travel time, and how WoW zones have always been designed, the most efficient order after Eversong Forest is Zul'Amin, followed by Harandar, then Aratar's Journey, and finally the Voidstorm last. You might be wondering why this order. Well, this route minimizes downtime, keeps objectives tightly packed, and avoids excessive backtracking. It's about experience per minute. Zul'Amin is first because it has tight quest hubs, short travel distance between quests, and high mob density. The idea is to hit 90 and finish the campaign around the same time. I do want to note that this zone order mainly applies to your first time running through. Once adventure mode is unlocked, your alts have way more freedom, and the best order becomes a lot more flexible depending on how you want to level. Dense zones with short travel distances have consistently been faster for leveling than zones built around long story travel or spread out objectives. Unless Blizzard completely changes that philosophy, this route should remain the most efficient option going into launch. While questing through these zones, try to pull as many mobs as your class can comfortably handle. Bigger pulls means faster quest completion and better experience per minute, which is why having flasks and health potions helps so much. They let you survive larger pulls, stay in combat longer, and keep moving instead of slowing down. If you have herbalism or mining, it's completely fine to grab nodes along the way. Don't go out of your way for them, but if they're directly on your path, they're solid bonus experience that adds up over time. With everything said, if you prefer a different zone or want to mix things up, you can, but if your goal is speed and efficiency, this route is as accurate as it gets before launch. Before wrapping things up, there are a few common mistakes that can quietly slow your leveling down. One of the biggest is overcommitting to side quests too early. They're great when they overlap your objectives, but going out of your way for them usually costs more time than the experience is worth. Another mistake is relying entirely on dungeon spam. Dungeons are strong when required by the campaign or when you're grabbing the daily bonus, but non-stop dungeon spamming often ends up slower unless you have instant queues and a coordinated group. I also recommend leveling with war mode off. Yes, having war mode on does give you an experience boost, but from my experience, I always end up dead and running back from the grave more times than it's worth. Especially during launch week, PvPers will sit in questing zones and just farm players trying to quest. If you can manage to get ahead of the crowd and avoid getting attacked, then it's definitely worth the 10%, but in most cases, it's not worth it. Completing the campaign on your first character unlocked adventure mode, world quests, and account-wide bonuses that make every alt faster, especially with the one warband Memento's experience stacking buff as you level more characters. The smarter your first run is, the easier the rest of the expansion becomes. If this guide helps you out, please drop a like and subscribe, and let me know what class you're leveling first in Midnight. I'll see you in the expansion. Cloudy Haze out.